Hey, beautiful people, this is Eleni, and I thought that I would just give you a little backstory about how my clinic changed and evolved over time. Because the way that it starts is not necessarily how it ends up being later on, but it's all perfect and it's all good. So you've got to work with where you're at and what is and the resources that you have. Because if the energy is right, it doesn't matter what resources you have. So when I first started my clinic back in 2010, that's when I opened up HypnoFit, the very first HypnoFit clinic. We now have, I can't believe it, 15 HypnoFit clinics around the world, including the United Kingdom, New Zealand, United States and Australia. But when I first started back in 2010, it was me in my lounge room. And so this is what I want to show you. I want to show you how things change and how things evolve. So basically back in those days, this was actually my formal lounge room, and that was the front door. So you can see it right there. This is the front door there. And I had a little sticky note on the front door that says, please don't ring the doorbell, client in session. I didn't have a waiting room. I didn't have anything. All I had was the front door and the lounge room. And the rest of the house was pretty much a house. And I had personal things in here, so I had to get one of those dividers from IKEA to hide my personal stuff. And so I saw clients in here. This is where I saw clients. I didn't rent an office space. You know, many people were telling me back in those days that, you can't work from home, you can't see, it's dangerous, it's risky, you're putting your family at risk. All of that is just fear, and I never ever bought into the fear. But what I believed back then was that I thought that I would definitely eventually get into an office. So I thought that it was only temporary, that I would eventually get into an office as soon as I had enough funds. That's what I believed. But then people would come here into my lounge room, into this lounge room, and they would just say, oh, this is just beautiful. I just love coming here. And I would get that kind of feedback all the time. But then what happened? Then what happened was that my business expanded. I needed to put on staff. And so I brought in staff. And initially the staff worked in all the hours that I couldn't possibly work, so that we were actually operating more hours than one person was capable of doing. And so they would work from this area as well, from the same lounge room. And then what happened was that I put on more staff, and so we needed more space. So that's when I started to look for an office. And I spent quite a bit of time looking for an office, probably about 6 months. And what I realized was that it would cost me about $100,000 in rent every year to get the kind of office space that I wanted. And even then, it was really awful kind of ambience, and I would have to renovate it. And so my son, who's an accountant, he said to me, Mum, instead of paying somebody else's mortgage, why don't you just fix up your own place and make it into an office space? So I did. So I put that wall there. So that wall used to go into the dining room. So I put a soundproof wall there, which what that did then, it created another consulting room. Okay. So you can see here at the end of the corridor, that door never used to be there, but that door's there, so that says staff only. Okay. So then I created another consulting room, which was this one, so then I could have a second staff member as well as myself, and then a third staff member. And then I put up more walls and I created more rooms. And this behind me was the basketball court. And I made it into a Zen garden. Now that didn't all happen in the first year. This is what I want to make clear. I still had a 6-figure business in my first year of business without advertising. First year of business, okay? So, and I didn't have any of this set up. All I had was my lounge room and my front door. I just want to make that clear. As the business started to create more revenue, and as I got more and more staff, I needed more and more consulting rooms. And I thought I wanted a beautiful entrance for my clients, and so I created a Zen garden in the basketball court. So that is the client entrance, which is a separate entrance now. It never used to be like that. It never used to be like that. I just want to make that clear. And this is the waiting room that they come from. So initially, what I did initially, right at the big, after, when I made this a second entrance, I made that as the waiting room, this bit here. But then I needed more consulting rooms, so I've made this into a waiting room. So I converted what used to be my billiard room into consulting rooms and a waiting room. So now they come through this door and they put a code in here, okay? There's a blackboard there that we put sayings on there. So they come in here and there's one consulting room there. You can see it there. This is before anybody has started today. There's another consulting room here. Okay. There's a third one here. Third one here. And a fourth one here. So 4 consulting rooms and a waiting room. And my staff would basically use my kitchen, which is back there, as their staff room, but the clients would use the downstairs bathroom as their amenities in terms of bathroom. So they would go into no personal space and they didn't even know that I lived here. And so all of that happened, like there's cameras, there's soundproof walls now, there's 4 consulting rooms, a waiting room, and all of that happened. This business grew from my home. Now, I'm not necessarily implying that everybody can do that because everyone's home is different. But what I am saying is that even with the first year, with just my lounge room and 1 entrance, I still created a 6-figure business because it's not about those things. It's about the energy and the intention that you bring into the room. And clients just want to be around that energy. They want to be around you. They don't care. They don't care about all of that. I did all of this so that I can feel like I've got premises that are beautiful for my clients. That's why I created a beautiful Zen garden and so on. But even without all of that, it didn't make any difference to the success of my business. I just want to make that clear that, you often think that all the ducks have to be lined up and everything has to be perfect so that you can have this magical business. You don't. You don't. All I had when I first started was my lounge room. That's all I had was my lounge room. And embarrassingly, I even had a little sticky note on top of my front door that would say, "Don't ring the doorbell, client session in progress." Whereas now, it all works electronically and there is no doorbell they can ring. But back then, that's what I had. And so just want to make it clear that wherever you are in your business journey, whatever your belief is about what you need to have, it's just a belief. If your trainer says to you, you can't work from home, like, why can't you? There might be real big reasons why you can't. Maybe the space is small, and maybe you have little children, and maybe you have dogs or whatever. But question everything that everybody tells you. So when I first started business, it was unusual to be working from home. A lot of people worked from an office space. And I was told that, it's not professional. And I believed it. I believed that story. Well, 15 clinics later, my clinic is still at home. It hasn't changed. It's still at home. So it's just a story. That's all it is. It's just a story. You don't need to buy into people's stories about what is required to have a successful business. People just want people, when they come and see you, they want to feel your confidence. They want to feel your energy. They want to feel your intention. And if you're holding intention, if you're absolutely committed to giving them the best possible experience they can possibly have and hold the energy for that, you don't have to have the perfect premises because it doesn't matter where they're located. And if you think about, your own transformation and where that occurred, I know with me that with my own transformation, when I did my trainings many, many, many years ago on me, it certainly wasn't in any kind of luxurious premises. It was in a hall on the ground in a sleeping bag. That's where it was, and that's where the transformation happened for me. So clients, are not concerned about the things that we're concerned about. And really everything that I've ever done to make these premises more beautiful, it's really only so I can feel really nice in the space, knowing that my clients have a beautiful, luxurious experience. But at the end of the day, it's this that matters. What's this? That's what matters. And that's why, even doing sessions online, which we've had to do, obviously, over the last couple of years, has given clients the same results because the intention is the same and you're working from a heart space. So anything that you think you have to have, like the perfect website, the perfect landing page, the perfect copy, the perfect ebook, the perfect whatever, like none of that is, anything that I had to begin with. Everything that I had created at the beginning, if you look back at it now, you would think it was substandard. But what is consistent is my heart. What is consistent is my intention. What is consistent is what I want for my clients. That's never changed. I want them to have the most incredible transformational experience that's possible. And that's the message that I give our hypnotherapists. So 2 more sleeps. I'm super duper excited until our final and last half-day workshop for the year. And it is about booking your business solid. And this is the last time we're holding it this year. This is it. And if anyone has come before and you want to come again, I'm happy to give you a complimentary ticket. It's always changing up. It's always different. There's always different people. It's myself, Marcus, and Sharon that are presenting on so many topics. It's about selling programs. It's about selling from the heart. It's about, your money blocks. And it's 4 hours of material that we're going to be presenting in 2 days' time at the half-day workshop. So if you're interested, let me know by putting a comment down below and I will send you a link. And just remember that during these times, it is your turn to step up and be the best possible version of your authentic self so that clients can connect to who you really are. We're here to serve a purpose. We're here to powerfully step into our mission. We all have our genius zone. Every single one of us has our genius zone. That's why we can't compare ourselves to each other, because we're all different in our genius zone. We all have different genius zones. So that's what we have to tap into. That's what we have to powerfully step into. And I'm very super excited to see you guys in 2 days' time at the half-day workshop. Last time that I'm running it for this year. It's going to be epic. Love you guys. See ya.